Hello, it's Rob Moore here from Progressive Property, and I'm with Kris and Jayne. Kris and Jayne, this is everyone.
Hello.
Everyone, this is Kris and Jayne. And I'm really excited to be talking today to Kris and Jayne because they have done an amazing job over the last, how long have you been in property?
6 years now.
6 years in property. And
only sort of full time, really going at it for maybe 18 months.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
And how long have you been doing it the right way?
the right way?
Yeah.
All the time.
So the last 18 months you've made it kind of your profession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how long have you been with Progressive on the VIP programme?
It's about 6 months now.
6 months.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's just have a chat about that then. So in the last 18 months, how many properties have you bought?
Like 11, is it?
A bit more than that. I think we've got about 5 going through at the moment. A couple of lease options, and we've bought about half of those are JVs, and then we bought about 5 or 6 for ourselves as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a lot more.
Yeah.
About 15.
About 15.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
Should we just guess? Let's say 20.
Well, it's just because we've got a lot of JVs going
Yeah,
on, it's
yeah,
thinking
sure.
about that's for you, and then
Yeah.
the options as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's quite a few.
I know you guys have been very busy, haven't you? Like on it, like a car, bonnet on it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the last 18 months then, because obviously
Sure.
we've been working together for just under a year. Tell us the vitals on some of those deals. Have you been making any equity in the deals? Do you think you bought some good deals?
Well, we'll tell you about
Do you want to say about the Greenlight one?
Yeah, the green.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was actually through another member of the VIP group. They came
You did a
across-
JV?
Well, no, they
No.
sourced the deal that they didn't want themselves because
Alright.
they felt that HMO was just too much and not quite
Yeah.
right for them. So we saw it and we thought, we'll go for that. So
Yeah.
we paid them a sourcing fee, developed this property, and we've managed to get a 17-year lease option.
Wow, that's about the longest lease option I've
Yeah.
ever had, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
quite impressive.
Yeah,
It's quite
And
good,
at
it's really
today's
good.
price.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like, it might even double twice by the time.
Yeah. But the best thing is it's cash. It will be cash flowing about £1,000 a month,
Yeah.
which is like a really nice one. So we want more. Like
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we all do.
But yeah, that's.
But they're not all £1,000 a month.
No, I mean on the other end of the scale, we've got one that we started going through the negotiations, and the mortgage company doubled the mortgage rate as soon as we said we wanted consent to let.
Yeah.
So we had these sort of very desperate, motivated people, and we felt obliged to follow through with what we'd agreed.
It's still
So-
cash flow positive,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
more like
about
£100
100,
a month.
Yeah.
whereas
So-
it should have been about 250.
Sure.
But there's nothing we could do about it. But we learned the process of sorting the lease option out, dealing with solicitors, etc. So that it was a good learning curve on that side, but it'd have been nice for it to the banks not to
Sure.
invest us around at the last
But these things
minute.
happen, don't they? And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
there's no point kidding people, is there?
But for the learning curve on that one, fantastic, and now we're doing one that's really profitable. So
Sure.
I think the experience has, got us to that step as
Sure.
well.
So those 11 deals, well, how many have you got in total? Well, no, it wasn't 11, was it? It was about 15. Actually, how
Yeah,
many
so
have you
now
got in
we've
total?
we've got just over 22, 23, is it?
Yeah, 20. I think 23, and then 2 lease options as
Yeah.
well.
So what's the total value of that portfolio?
Just over 2 million.
Yeah. And equity, have you got any equity in that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
About,
Yeah.
yeah, it's about 600 grand now.
Yeah. Nice. It's good work.
But like that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. How old are you guys?
29.
29,
28.
29 and 28. So yeah. So by the time you're 50, Warren Buffett, excuse me, Bill Gates, excuse me. Okay, cool. So you also have a lettings business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do that? Why are you building businesses around property? What's your goals?
Probably a common reason that you've heard, not happy with how our properties were being looked after, and realised that by sorting it out ourselves and taking on other people's properties, we've got another business there,
Sure.
another income stream.
Yeah. And how many tenants do you have? How many on your books?
Oh, on
Is
our
it-
books.
We got quite lucky early on by getting some of the bigger landlords in the student market. So we signed up with one landlord who had over 100 properties.
Wow, they gave them all to you.
We don't manage them all. We let them all, but we're working on managing
Yeah.
a portion
Yeah,
of
you
them,
got to prove yourself
Yeah.
to these people.
which is fine. But we're building up the managed time. We've got about 30, 35 places under
Yeah.
management. Then we do a good handful of let-onlys.
Sure.
The let-onlys alone pay for the business, so
Yeah.
it's not the outgoing.
It's a very saleable business, very
It's all about building the
provable
brand.
business.
Yeah, it's building the brand and getting the systems in place.
And do you have an ulterior motive? You also, do you think you'll get a few B&Bs by having that
Oh,
business?
sure.
Do you think?
Well, we're looking at well, some of the landlords that we've met already, they're looking to sell, so
Sure.
we're looking now to take them on a lease option.
Yeah.
So they've come to us, we've like, let's just sign the lease option 3 years, 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple going through like that, and it might be that we now focus more on doing that as opposed to attracting just new landlords who just want a managed service.
Yeah.
Because you've got to think what's going to give you more money in the long run.
Why did you get into property? You know, I mean, why did you join the VIP program? Why did you get into property? What did you want sorting out? What were your goals? That kind of thing.
Kind of fell into it a bit. I bought my first house when I was about 19. Just borrowed a lot of money off family. I think I tricked them a bit, you know, but I managed
to be watching.
I managed to do that, and then I put friends moved in with me. I let the rooms out to friends. That covered the mortgage. The house doubled in price. I bought a second house 3 years after that, and that's when I thought, oh, hang on, this is actually an opportunity. So we're working at the same time for the first 4 years. We steadily built them, but back then a 15% discount was more than adequate with the mortgages.
Yeah, it was different days back then.
Yeah. Obviously had to step it up a gear at the same time as leaving out jobs and stuff. So we kind of did it all at the same time, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh."
Sure. Why do you love property, Kris?
I just like being my own boss, doing my own thing each day. The more effort I put in, the more results we get, and it's just very nice to be in control.
So who is the boss?
Well, this is it.
Yeah, I think we do. So what would you say to people watching this? Obviously it's a really impressive story. You've obviously really accelerated over the last 18 months. You've turned a massive challenge like the recession into a huge positive for you. Like you wouldn't be doing £1,000 a month net cash flow lease options 3 years ago. So what would you say to people sitting on the edge? Because, you know, there's people who probably, you know, we're all young here, and people who are older, wiser, more experienced than us, maybe not getting the same results that you are. So what would you say? What would be a Chrisism, you know, or a Jayneism?
I'd say the first thing is get some education so you know what you're doing. Because it's very easy to make some really duff mistakes. And, you know, read a few books, network with people in your local area. That's really good. And then just crack on and have a go.
Don't put it off. Everybody puts it off. Everyone's buying a house next year. We meet people that are on courses all the time and they've never bought a property, and it's like, wow, so just crack on with it. Education and getting started.
And then once you've done one, if you like it, I think 1 to 5 was really hard for us because we had jobs and it was hassle. So we just got, go for it, get a bit of velocity behind it, and then I won't say it's getting easier because I'm working harder now than ever, but the results are getting more.
Sure.
And that's
do you like that more than employed?
Totally. And that's where it gets exciting. I think sort of last month's been the best month we've ever had, hasn't it?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And you know. And how are you working together? Because some people kind of want to spend more time with their partner, and some people want to spend less time.
She's my sister.
Yeah, so that would be even more like
It's so.
We're trying to split tasks and stuff and all that kind of thing as best as possible.
So do you try and keep it professional then?
No, we just fight and argue. All out his voice wins. No, we shouldn't say that. It works well.
The thing is that being brother and sister, we've got the same goals and we've got trust there already. So you know, there's not them issues that I guess that could come up with a normal business partner. So I think it gives us a bit of an edge really.
So people who've got possible family members or even life partners that they're maybe looking to work with or need to persuade, would you say to them, you know, you should get them involved?
If they've got a good relationship anyway, I wouldn't say just anyone, but if they've got a good relationship anyway, then
I mean, we now rope in as many people as we can.
Yeah, for sure.
We had mum was doing a refurb, doing the interior design at one of our places last month, and
but you do what you've got to do, don't you, to make it work?
That's the whole thing. Just do what it takes.
People into it, definitely.
And the JVs thing, you've done some, because this is obviously the big buzzword at the moment. And people using other people's money. How are you getting on with that?
We did 4 initially about 2 years ago, and then we've just got a new business partner who's also on the progressive VIP group. And we've done 6 now.
And so because he's a bit older than us, he carries a bit more weight when it comes to the sourcing finance. So he's been quite good at getting cheap borrowing for us to.
We call him the money man.
Oh, really?
He goes and gets
Everyone needs a money man.
Basically.
He goes and gets us some money at a really good rate and brings it back and we spend it.
Which means that we can now do deals that don't work on bridging finance, which means there's more that we can buy and we're happy with that.
Right.
So it's working good. It's working really good.
Give us your next year plan, you know, how many are you going to buy next year, what are your plans, because I'm sure that you've got big goals.
the goals are changing all the time. But we need to get 50 properties and through the letting agency. So we're nearly over halfway there. That's not really going to be. That's going to be easily achievable.
Yeah.
The lease options, we'd like to get another 5 through, and then
for over the next year.
Well, yeah, up until Christmas is when we set our goals.
Kind of like halfway through, and we want to really get in the next 8 to 10 months get our portfolio up to
good
40.
Good 40 properties, a mixture of the family lets and the multi-lets.
Yeah.
Because we find a couple of multi-lets, the cash flow is great and it offsets the back-to-back terrace houses, which are just bread and butter stuff. So if you can just sort of play a bit of the two, it works quite nicely.
Excellent.
In Leeds anyway.
Yeah. You've just given away your golden one area, you do realise.
People will be giving us a call anyway, I'm sure.
We can help them out.
Yeah. Right, so, amazing story, I'm sure you'd agree. Jayne, Kris, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.